And yeah, so just to address these concerns, we have introduced WhatsApp forms. Removes back and forth, enables uh, users to see expected questions that are upcoming in like what they can prepare for in case it helps. Removes the need to go outside WhatsApp interface, which might be the biggest plus point. And there are widgets which are date picker, check boxes, like multiple check boxes that you can select, and drop downs, which wasn't earlier there in WhatsApp. So it would not be possible to have multiple checks. It would not be possible to have a date picker, like, so you have to rely on this thing. So anyways, like, so considering all these things, WhatsApp forms turns out to be like a really interesting in introduction that WhatsApp has introduced. Again, like, just to kind of like reduce the complexity, WhatsApp, when they have introduced this feature, it is called WhatsApp flows for them. So like in the official meta communication, you might get something like WhatsApp flows. But since Glyphic already has flows, so we didn't want to confuse internally as well as externally about like WhatsApp flows and Glyphic flows, and it might have gotten confusing. So in order to handle all these things cleanly, we are just for in Glyphic interface, we are calling this as WhatsApp form. So just for you to know, WhatsApp flows is nomenclature by Meta. The same thing we are calling it WhatsApp forms, just because in order to avoid any confusion between Glyphic flows as well. So with that, I'll quickly go ahead. We'll take this scenario and we'll run through it with this scenario in mind, and then that will just help us to like create a real world, close to real world situation use case, and run it through. So the scenario is of a NGO working with high risk pregnancy screening, working with pregnant mothers. Um, Mayurika, I'll get to it. Like I mean, I'd said earlier that if it's not like it is the feature right now. So Mayurika is asking question, where can we see the forms? Mayurika, the forms are in a beta trial phase. So if you are not able to see it, then we can enable it for you. Please let us know the organization name, and we can enable it for you. But this is right now under beta, in under a trial phase. So we have enabled it only for a few orgs. We had reached out over newsletter and do this thing. Yeah, cool. So and I'll also show like I'll do this entire walkthrough in the next 45 minutes with the help of this example. So we can go through this example first, just so that you are aware, and let me know if you have any questions on this example. But essentially, think of a use case where an NGO has to consistently keep sending a monthly checkup form to all the beneficiaries. The beneficiaries are pregnant mothers, and through the form, they have to essentially identify the cases where they have to either have a follow-up call or identify if there are any high risk cases. Let me know if you're able to see my entire screen. If you can see the um, my Google Doc that
Yeah,
I
it's visible.
Yeah, everything is visible.
okay, thanks. So okay. I mean, yeah, so think of it as like, okay, so like, let's say, let's, for the sake of this, for the creation of this form, we'll take this like a simple questionnaire. This is a ChatGPT generated scenario. So it has shared these first three questions. So we can kind of like skip these questions. Like, name is something that, like, we assume that we already know. Phone number, we definitely don't need on WhatsApp. Village, ward, this thing, these all steps we can skip for now. We can focus on these questions. Like, so let's say like the first question should come up is like, instead of how many months pregnant are you, we can say like, in which trimester of pregnancy are you. um, this can be one question. And then here it can be like 1 2 3, or even we can keep it like in which month. And you currently, so, and then second question could be about like, what are there any yeah, any of these signs? Are you experiencing any of these issues? In case, and so you have an idea of like on a weekly or a monthly basis they are getting these issues, and then like a basic check-in, which is like these questions of do you have normal fetal movement? Yes, no. Do you have any regular medicines available? Do you have you attended the checkup? And would you like a call from a health worker? And we can, for the sake of this like for the sake of this demo, we can assume that if they say yes in this part of it, if they say yes, like if you would you like a call from a health worker, if they say yes, then we should ideally be able to like shortlist them and then be able to provide this information to the ground staff that hey, these people on this date requested for a call. So that is something that is the way we can look at this use case. I'll pause for like 10 seconds if there's any questions on this thing. I think my assumption would be like this kind of captures like 70-80% of 90% of the use cases that may come up from the ground.
Sorry, Tejas, I just had a question on this draft questionnaire. You said it's GPT generated, but what you have in the questionnaire, the type of answer, the options, and the ID, right? Is that consistent on how we should build like a questionnaire for us?
No, no. This is again like this scenario is GPT generated. I'm taking this a real like trying to simulate a real world use case, and then I'll go into the next. The next thing I'll focus on is like now I'll create the form using
Okay.
these 5 questions. So I'll explain all the nuances of the forms in a bit. Cool. Is there any other questions? But yeah, like fair question. Right now, these are like all you have to think of is like, hey, we want I wanted a use case for this webinar, so I'm just using this example generated by GPT. Yeah, you can ignore all the thing. I just needed like a question and type of things, and like a yeah, like a use case. Okay. So the step one is to create this form. How this form comes up, like, so let me show you like once. So as we are on, I hope you can see the Glyphic screen also now, like the Glyphic platform screen.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, cool. So once the form is like right now, since I've explained this is in beta trial phase, so not everyone will have it. But once it's enabled for your org and it doesn't take us long to enable this, it'll start coming up as WhatsApp forms this option in under the quick tools section. So just like interactive messages, HSM templates, it'll start coming up as WhatsApp forms over here. In order to create the form, again, like we create a flow or HSM template or an interactive message. Similar to that, we'll start by creating the form this button. There's a title, there's a description which is optional. Title is mandatory. These categories are mandatory, and I'll again you can pick up any of these categories, but this is like a meta required field. So title and category are mandatory, and the main bit of it is this form JSON. So I'll get to this. Right now, since we wanted to like do the fastest deployment, like get this feature out and be for engineers to be able to use it, what Meta has is this playground environment. Are you able to see my Meta screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, thanks. So I'll share this link to you all. Again, so it's an open link. Anyone can go to this link, and it has like a basic form, like it has like an example form already, which kind of gives us a clue about how we can start getting this thing. So the step one, in order for us to create the form, is to come to this thing and start using this playground to then create the UI of the form that we want to see. So the UI can be the questions and all these things that we want to include. Right, so I'll just to give you a brief overview. There is like we can keep on adding new screens. Like let's say like imagine if I had, I'll remove all these screens for now. Um, okay. Um, so yeah, okay. Add new screen feedback. One of uh, three of three. Again, I can, let's say like I'll just call it feedback one, feedback two. So I'm just like I'm just showing you how this is like. It's fairly intuitive. Like so, So let's say I was on feedback one screen, like I remove these things. What I can do is I can go ahead and remove all these elements too. I can, so this is screen title. I can change this to anything. So like let's say monthly pregnancy check. For now, you can please ignore the spelling mistakes that I'm making. And okay, so there is this drop down. I don't want this drop down. I can remove all these things from here, and I can create like the type of experience that I want to create. So there's a button, it's called done. I can change the button to anything, continue. For example, okay, right now there's only screen name and this button that I have. Now what I can do is I can do add content. So I can again, so this takes a bit of like playing around, but what I discovered through my experiments is like the tech, like, so there's a small heading section. There's like a, so this just gives the heading, and it's one of the, it's like a good way to display the questions, because the questions aren't linked to a specific option drop down. So our first question was how many months uh, uh, in your pregnancy are you? Yeah, again, you can please ignore the grammatical mistakes and things. So it's the question starts coming up like this, but this is just the heading. Like this is not a this thing. Now if we want to add, okay, we want to give option for them to select like months. So we'll give selection. We can give, let's say drop down, and again we can experiment between any of this thing. Select from here, for example, like we can, so again this is a label, this is mandatory from here, so we can't change it. And then we can just be like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so this is a required field, and so this is how it starts coming up. So how many months in your pregnancy are you? And select from here. So here people can start selecting, for example. So this is how it will come up. Now, the reason why we had to give small heading and we can't put this question here, because you can see there's a label and there's a text character limit of for when we select like add content, and if we select like drop down or any other thing, there's all we can do is add a label only. And this label has a 20 character limit. So if you wanted to ask a question here, how many months in your, so it'll, that's how it'll be. So essentially, like this field is not to ask your question. This field is like, like a, again, this field is mandatory, but I'll tell you where this field comes in. Um, yeah, so again, like so this is how it'll come. Like I can remove this one for now. Okay, what was my second question? How do you currently experience any of the following? Okay, so I'll just copy this question again. If you're getting any questions and if this is becoming a bit confusing, you can please like stop me, and I can take this. So I'm just like giving a thing about you experiencing of the following symptoms. And here we can use, let's say, multiple choice question. So it could be, okay, for now, I'm just call it symptom one, symptom two, symptom three, symptom four, yeah, so on. Again and again. So again, like it starts coming as label. We don't want it to be labeled. So we can be like, choose any, choose any or any of these. Right, like so again, like so now this is how the starts form starts shaping up. So we have this thing, I can select this and I can click continue on this page. Now right now on page 2 there is nothing. So let's say on page 2 now we want to add, let's say like on the first page we just want to get these two things. Okay, how many months are they, and how, what's the what are the symptoms they are facing. And on page 2 we can, let's say we call the page 2 as yeah, we can call it anything, but let's say just for the sake of simply, let's call it feedback. This is like a short answer. We can like remove this. We can, let's say, add another small heading. And one of our questions was, do you feel normal fetal movement today? Um, so let's add this question, and maybe let's add like three questions from here for just for the sake of time. This thing. So there's this thing, and here we just want single choice. So maybe we can say select anyone. Yes. No. Okay. So this is how it starts showing up over here. Again, like the choice is yours. You can play around with this. You can make it a drop down. You can make it a you can make it any of these things. Just playing around with this should help you a little bit. Yes, Jobin, there's a question.
Yeah, there was a question. So in regular WhatsApp, as in the regular chatbot, what we have, so there I think in 8 rows when you put a not multiple choice question, but a option to select from. Generally, 8 options comes in a message. So like this, how many options can come here in
In
one
a drop
message?
down?
Yeah, in drop down, yes.
Oh, I don't know, but we can explore. It doesn't seem like there's any like limit to this, but maybe like 10
Okay.
is maybe a limit. Like so, let's say one, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21. So I don't think there is any limit to this. Like I think you are able to go on, but there should be some limit, but I think a fairly large limit.
Okay, I mean this will be very useful for us actually.
Yeah, yeah. So again, like I mean, I have not been able to explore this like in detail, but yeah, because I'm happy to like if you have any use case, I'm happy to collaborate and help you put this together. Put this together. But yeah, like this will involve a bit of like playing around to see how what user experience like how does the user experience look like actually in the thing, because this is also something fairly new that we are also getting exposed to.
Understood.
But anyway, so let's continue with our. Is there any other question, Jobin?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Hey, hi Tejas. I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, in drop down, do we have like district and state like mapping? How can we do that? Do you have any idea about it?
Um. There is so this is like created like you'll have to create all those mappings yourself, but for drop I mean like for district and state mapping there's other ways you can handle that. Maybe this is not the best way.
Okay.
uh, yeah, so district and state mapping, because the problem is still the same, right? Like for one selection there could be like then that decision tree goes on
Yes.
expanding a lot.
Right,
So
right.
this type of like manual way of doing this thing is not the best way. I think we have a previous webinar. In the previous webinar we had explained that, so maybe we can share that with you, Nitesh.
Sure, sure, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, but this may not be the like doing it manually, like adding each of them will not be the
Yeah,
best
it's
way.
really difficult.
Yeah, we have a webinar and we have some documentation that can help you out, so you can I think we can share that with you.
Uh,
Sure, sure.
yeah,
Thanks. If
yeah,
yeah,
Tejas, share that with me too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Tanu, can you make a note of these two things, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have two more hands. Maybe we'll
Yes.
start with Anisa. Yeah.
Put my question in the chat as well. I actually
Anisa or Aditya, which one of you can go ahead? Sorry.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I had actually looked at the documentation you said, but I couldn't find a location capture thing here. I found the photo location capture. I was wondering if there it is or not within the forms.
Within the forms, there's no location capture.
Okay.
For location capture, there's already like a separate interactive message that you can
Yeah, yeah.
create.
That I know. Yeah. I was just
So
wondering
yeah.
within the forms if we have. Okay. Got it.
Okay, yeah. The forms that I don't think there's a location capture fee, this thing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think there was one more hand which was up, right?
Yes. So
Go
I
ahead.
had a question. So within the current drop down or the multiple choice options, can it handle dynamic data through an API
Uh,
or only static?
it can handle dynamic data. So you mean like based on selection of the first option, you want to populate some other options, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, it's possible. It's called WhatsApp forms with endpoints. Um, So you can, and I think it's possible to create those using your Meta's Meta, like the Meta Business Manager. So you'll have to. There are some more steps involved in like in terms of like creating that authentication between the two. Like just to like whenever someone selects it, it has to authenticate the that is
Right,
coming
right, right.
from.
Got it.
So there are few more additional steps that are needed, but it's doable, and it's called endpoints with forms with endpoints, and yeah, it's possible to do that, but it should and but right now in Glyphic, like in the platform itself, we are not able to do this. We should be able to do
Okay.
this in like a couple of months, but you can definitely create this by logging into your Meta Business account, and I can
Okay.
share with you like a few videos or things like that you can follow.
Other than that, if it's not based on the previous selection, suppose I have the options on a Google Sheet and I want to integrate it here through the API, will it follow the similar process? Because if the
uh,
options changing,
I don't know about Google Sheets, but it's similar to basically like based on like I mean, we'll have to explore that. I don't know about Google Sheets, but maybe Meta doesn't directly support Google Sheets, so you will have to create some sort of automation to populate this, but that will be possible through forms with endpoints.
okay,
Um,
got it, got it.
yeah,
Thank you.
but like I mean, so you'll have to have some condition to populate some things, right? Like so, I mean, in Glyphic right now you can't, like just directly create like like how there's interactive messages and interactive
Right, right.
messages you can dynamically populate based on some Google Sheet integration. But here, they'll have to be like the forms have to be published all like so. So I'll tell you the steps of creating a form is once you create this form JSON, you get it into Glyphic, and then you have to publish it. So publishing it creates it as like an entity with Meta. And then yeah, so I think I'm not sure
Got
if
it.
exactly what you have envisioned might be possible, but something close to that might be possible. Um, Cool. I'll quickly go ahead and I'll just probably add just one more section. Let's say, like, I mean, like, okay, maybe I'll change this as do you want a call back? And what I can quickly show you is also like what a short answer, like a qualitative feedback kind of a thing looks like. There's also other things you can explore this, like there are there is this other screens that you can create which are like like if you want to get consent, if you want people to agree to terms and conditions and like create this entire like a better user experience for that. That's also something like with the opt-in thing, it's like really better looking, but yeah, like that's also something that can be explored. For now, I'll just quickly show you like just one, and yeah, like so like the date picker field and this thing. So let's say like when would you like the call back? For example, if they said like when would you like the call back? And we ask them for a date. Uh, Again, these are optional things you can play around with it, see how it looks. Let's say like do not pick Sundays, for example. Let's see how that shows up over here. So it shows up like a thing, whatever I put as instructions over here. So yeah, I mean these are some like again, this is like an example form. So once you are like fairly once you are okay with the form, like so here is where you can see it, like let's say like so this is the first page, this is the second page. So the next step is to take this flow JSON, you copy this flow JSON, and you bring it to the Glyphic page, your Glyphic interface, and you create a new form. Let's say we call it monthly Pregnancy check one. We paste the flow JSON over here and you select the category. Um, just for sake of, I mean, you have to select something. You can select multiple also, but I don't think there's a need to do that. And here you can save it. Saving it, just for your information, saving it creates a draft of this in the thing. We still can't use it in our flows. Yeah, there's a question.
Yes, they just could you just show the how you copied the JSON link again?
Huh. Okay, okay. Yeah, so basically on this playground only, there is this button called copy flow
Uh-huh.
JSON. That's
Okay,
it.
okay, okay.
We press it, it gets copied, and we bring it on and we paste it. So like essentially this creates like a JSON when we can like paste it anywhere. Yeah.
So we pasted directly into the Glyphic platform after that, into
Correct.
the yeah, okay,
Correct. Correct.
forms.
Correct. I mean, sorry, right now there are multiple things which are open. I'll close one of these playgrounds. Yeah, so
And
now
just
this,
one more, sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
just one more thing. For every time, whenever someone is making a form, we first need to go to Playground, develop
Correct.
it there, and then come over here, copy the JSON file link, and deploy it from here.
Correct, correct,
Okay.
correct. So yeah, so right now, once you're once you're satisfied with with the way it's looking, you can like so right now, like let's say right now I just created the first version of it, right? Like I have done it. Now suppose I have a team member, like I have created it. Now Tanu has to check it and review it, and she has to approve it. So essentially, like Tanu will now have to go and see this form, right? Like, but Tanu, when she opens this playground, it won't look this way because for her it will be like, like this thing. So in order for us to, in order to check these things, what you can write, like right now, again, right now it's just a draft. It's not published. So there's a difference between published and draft. Like, just because in draft I can go on editing this thing, but once it's published, again, this is like a term from Meta. So so as you can see, there's like this publish button. If I press it, then what will happen is it will send this form along with all its thing to Meta, and Meta will create a entity of this form for your WhatsApp business account, and that's when it's published. And after it's published, it can't be edited again. So in order, like in order for y'all to make changes and this thing, don't publish it in the first time. Keep saving it, and now, after the first time, if you want to see how the form is looking, you can copy this JSON. You can go to this playground, but instead of going to the WhatsApp playground, there is another link, and we can share this link in the documentation also. Like this, we discovered as we were doing this thing. Uh, um, in reference, there's this flow JSON components, and they have this other view for this thing where now here they are like explaining the flow JSON. But what I can do is I can remove this flow JSON that they have. I can paste my JSON. I can run it. So this JSON, like this form, gets recreated on this page. So now I can see this thing, and if I've changed some, if I change something, so now I can actually use this to see what see what the user experience will look like without publishing it. Like, so if someone else from my team has created it, I can try this out. If I want to go to the next page, I just have to like go to the next page from here, and then see this thing. Okay, date picker, it looks like this. Okay. And yeah, and yeah, but I can give feedback, and based on the feedback, probably like the person who's creating, they can work on this form to improve it or make it better. So this is essentially it is a bit of a back and forth, but like within the next 1 month, we'll also bring in the capabilities that you don't have to go on Playground. You can create this form, edit this form in Glyphic only. But right now it's in beta version, so we want to like get it out as soon as possible. Again, so I'll pause here for any questions. This might get a bit confusing, but the idea is once you bring it into the thing, you can still continue to work on that form. You can still, while it's in draft state, you can go on editing it, like you can change the layout and things like that. Once you are satisfied with it, then you can once you're like, for now, let's say I'm satisfied, and I can go and I can publish it. And once it's published, like the form will publish in Meta, and it could be made visible to users after this, and now it's published. So there is no approval or anything from Meta, But now I can't edit it because that's just how Meta has made these rules. Yes, Marika.
Yeah. So one, you are saying that, so what you are saying, the preview button in Playground, it is similar to, I think there it is run and not preview.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So one is the playground,
Mm-hmm.
and then other is this. Um, so one page is this playground, right? So this page WhatsApp /flow /playground. Here there's like a UI to create this. There's like a flow builder UI.
Hmm.
Okay. Now I have copied the JSON, right? And I've created. I mean, I have the copied JSON from here. Excuse me. And I have this in Glyphic. Now I have done all this work. Now suppose my team member, for example, someone else, they wanted to try this, like see what this form looks like.
They will also have to go to Playground.
Yeah, but the thing is, when they go to playground, like, so let me show you. If I go to playground again, it is starting off with this already pre-created form, right? Because this is their playground. This doesn't store what I have created before. Like, I have this other page where I have worked on this, flow, but now it's gone
Mm-hmm.
essentially. So, and I can't paste the JSON here. There's no way for me to like see what my JSON is doing. So in order to do that, there's other in this page, in this WhatsApp flows documentation only. So there's WhatsApp flows documentation on Meta. In this reference, there's flow JSON components. There's this page that they have, and here they have this other UI where I can paste any other flow JSON. If I so this flow what this flow this basically this part of this documentation, if I paste any flow JSON over here, it is going to take this and create this UI.
Okay. So, for example, I am building the form. I
Correct,
have created the JSON. I have copied it. I go on Glyphic. I paste it. I don't publish it. I just save it.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
Then someone from my team needs to review it. They also open Playground itself and they go to JSON,
Yeah, I mean we can give this link to you, but
the
here,
JSON link. I mean, whatever JSON link that I had copied, they will also have to go and copy paste the same JSON link over here, right?
yeah, no, they can copy the JSON from here, like
हाँ हाँ
from the.
ठीक है यहाँ से they will pick it up, they will paste it over there and they will run it there.
Yeah, once they run it over here, this
Okay.
this thing will start coming up. So for
Okay.
example, I have taken this previous form, WhatsApp form, and taken this thing, and just I want to, because here I can't see right now in Glyphic we are not able to see it, and even in a preview it won't work. So in order for you to see it, see the draft what it is, we'll have to go into the edit, copy this JSON, and go to this other link, which is not the playground, but it is the other, like other one of the documentation pages which has this ability to copy paste the JSON, and if you run it, then we can see what this form is, what essentially what this JSON is representing in this format. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
sorry for again explaining, but yeah, that's the idea. And there's this other read, which is this, yeah.
What is rate, and I think there was something else along with rate to recommend.
Again,
What is the difference?
nothing. These are not anything. It's just the screen names.
Okay.
So because what happens is we are starting off from this base base. Like we are basically modifying these two, like the initial thing which is there on the example which is there on playground, right? I mean, I can explain the rate and recommend. I'll explain in a bit. Like, I don't want to confuse right now, but I'll explain that in a bit. It's just name of the pages for your information for now. Yes, questions?
Yes, Tejas. There's just need to double check on
Yeah, yeah,
once we have published the form, so we
yeah.
can't change the JSON.
Correct. Once it's published, then it can't be changed. Then you'll have to create another one in case you want to change it.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry for coming in again, but
No problem.
if, for example, like once the JSON has been developed and after that edits have been made to the form
Hmm.
in Playground, for example,
Hmm.
someone has given some feedbacks and edits have been made, the
Yeah.
JSON link does not change after that, right? It remains the same.
There is no link to a JSON. You can just copy the latest JSON and you can paste it in the.
So, like every time there has been an edit made to the form on Playground, JSON needs to be copied again and edited, pasted again.
Yes, yes. Every time you
Oh,
make a, basically that's what this like that's the status of all these drafts. Like every time you change it, like you make the changes, you copy the latest JSON and you save it in this whenever there's like a draft state, you save it over there, and then that brings it to the latest version. So this like this step is where what you'll have to do. Yeah.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes, Avanti. Yeah.
Sorry, on the editing the JSON, right? Once it's still saved, so is it preferable to edit it in that reference view section, or is it's preferable to go back to the builder playground and then create a change over there?
It's better to, I mean, yeah, you can't edit the editing JSON is like, I mean, basically the this UI is to make edits. Like it's easier to make edits over here.
Yes, easier to make edits. But suppose I just want to change, say, the naming of a drop down, for example, from yes, no, I want to change it to okay or bye or something.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it possible to edit it directly in where you showed the viewer in the reference
Yeah,
section,
yeah,
or has a
yeah.
person to come back and build it over here again?
No, no, if there's minor changes, the idea like you can edit the JSON also. But again, the
Okay.
JSON is a bit complicated. Like
Yeah.
we'll have to understand the structure and if the structure doesn't match, then it'll not get published. It'll give that error like flow JSON is not it's corrupted JSON, whatever.
Correct. But then the only difference is that when you go back to the playground, you have to create it all over again.
Not really. I mean, yeah, like I mean, ideal like if that thing is lost, if the page is like closed when
Yeah,
the
if someone refreshes the page, closes the page, anything, that means you're starting from scratch.
yeah, yeah, right
Okay,
now.
fine. Fine.
Yeah. Yes, Diksha.
Hi, I just wanted to understand. Say for example, we use a bot in multiple languages, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I'm creating a JSON for multiple languages, it will be all separate. All forms have to be separated out based on language.
I will get to that. I'll get to that in a bit. I don't.
Okay,
We'll get to how we can make it multilingual. Just by
okay,
before. I mean, like till in a bit. Once you understand first workflow, then we can get to that. Okay.
sure.
Cool. Cool. So for now, we have this pregnancy thing. It's published. So we come here, we save it. After the changes are made, after we save it, like once we are at a decent stage, we can save it and then we publish it. Sorry, if someone is using the chat box also, you can please ask your questions by unmuting. Abhinit is asking, can any elements here be variables with values injected at runtime? Did we cover this? I think during this is the endpoint forms with endpoints. The answer for this is forms using forms with endpoints. Okay, yeah. So I'm not able to follow the chat box, so please unmute and you can ask me, please. Also, Tanu, you can help me out if there's any questions on the chat box.
Sure.
Sorry. Uh,
Yeah.
There's just one more question
Yeah.
regarding this forms with endpoints.
Hmm.
For example, like not all questions, will require a dynamic response,
Correct. Correct.
right? So for certain questions it will require, for certain it will not.
Correct.
But we don't need to, like in the same form, it will allow us to do that, right? For certain questions, dynamic response; for certain questions, normal, just going into the next section essentially.
Yeah, yeah, it should be possible. I have personally not explored it that much right now. And this is something you can create from your Meta Business Manager. So it should be possible. I don't think every question doesn't need to be like based on previous response. There are maybe you can decide like which, like based on which answer how you want to. But it's slightly, I would say, like slightly tech oriented. Like it'll require some amount of dev effort. We are trying to make it so that we can bring it into Glyphic platform within maybe like next 2 to 3 months. But right
Okay.
now, I don't have much information on it. Like I'm not able to because I have not done it myself. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so let's go ahead. What I can also quickly do is like so now the second bit of it, right? Because now we want to use this form and also be able to capture and use the responses of this form. So one thing you can see over here, there's like this form variables. So just, I mean, from looking at it, you can get an idea that, okay, there is screen 0, screen 0, screen 1, screen 1, screen 1. Screen 0, choose any one, screen 0, select this thing. So essentially what these are, so I'll just take this form JSON and let's go to the preview page, reference, flow JSON components. Let's go to this preview page and let's paste this one and we run. Okay, so as we can see, there are two pages on this one, page one, page two. In page one, there are like these two questions that we have. So what we can intuitively understand is the screen zero is the page one. So like I mean, I think they are using that you know how those developers use the indexes like first one there is zero for the second one there is one. So that's how basically all this indexing is happening. So the screen 0 is essentially page 1, screen 1 is essentially page 2, and screen 0 choose any I think so these are also like screen 0 select 0. This is like the first input field on page 1. Screen 0 this one is indicating that this is the second input field on page 2, and also we can just quickly confirm this. Here we have put the label of select, right? So here is just taking that screen 0 and the label we have put select. It is taking that and it is adding another index to it. So select underscore 0. So this becomes the first input field that it's getting captured. In the second one, as you can see, like we have put choose any as the label. So again, so that is essentially becoming the label to for the form field. And what this form field means is like if I want to refer to the answer given by the user for this question, like for this question, like in which month of pregnancy are you? I'll have to just remember that okay, this answer is getting captured in screen 0, select underscore 0. And I'll show you how we can use this, but for now you can just remember this. And similarly for screen 1, screen 2, like I mean other and the second options on the
Are
screen.
these editable, Tejas, by any chance?
Yeah, yeah. So that's what the
Okay.
form JSON is there for. Like the form JSON, essentially, like this is coming from the form JSON, and the JSON is editable. But in the next version, in the what we are introducing on Glyphic, we can edit these things. But right now, we recommend not to go that much into it because the it like we also like I mean like the it just corrupts the JSON. Like we and then we don't know what it is corrupting where the names are. But if you do a bit of research, it should be possible to do like that's what these components are getting explained over here. So like what is this thing like what are the IDs for it, how to like what is the parameter, what is the heading, how it's getting used. So this entire page is explaining all of that, and it should be all of these are editable. So if I change some part of this thing, um, I should be able to this thing will get changed.
It will
But in
get
case you don't.
changed in the JSON.
Yeah, so you'll
Okay.
have to change it in the JSON. Then you copy this new JSON, you bring it over here and you save it. And once it
Hmm.
gets saved, then this one will get reflected over here.
Okay.
Yeah, but for now, I mean, if you don't have want to go into that, like again, these are all for internal reference. Like the user will never see this. These are all for your reference. How do I refer this result? So maybe you don't have to like spend so much time on this thing, and you can right now you can understand that okay, there are two questions on page one, there are four questions on page two, and this is coming in order of how we have put those input fields. Okay, so I'll quickly move on, and so this is what these form variables are referencing, and now the main thing is how we want to use it, how this can get used in the how do we use it in the flow. So to use it in the flow, we have to link a form to the HSM template. What I mean by that is we have to create an HSM template. Let's say monthly reg check one English. Hello. And here you can create, like however we create the, like um, our, like how HSM template is hello, please enter your details. Again, I'm just like doing placeholder stuff. The main part comes when you want to add buttons. In add buttons, earlier there used to be call to action, quick reply, but now there's also WhatsApp form. And what happens is when you select WhatsApp form, this thing changes and you have to select the form name that you have that are published already. So monthly pregnancy check, and again these are the screen names that you get from these things. So the first name is recommend, and this is happening purely because we started modifying the example that was there in the form JSON. There's also a way to screen change the screen names and all those things, but again, it's more complicated than it is required at the moment, and this is not visible for the end user anyways. So here from the form JSON, you can see like what is the first screen name. Here you can see the second screen name, and what this is showing over here is that which screen you want to get started with. Like when the user clicks this button, which screen should come first. And I don't know why Meta has complicated it, but ideally we should just have the first screen that comes up. And then the button title is finally like whatever, like whatever is the button that whatever is the text they'll see in order to, like click the thing. Category, you can try it. Utility, it's possible to get it approved under utility, but for the sake of this demo, I'm getting it under marketing quickly. And we have created this HSM. So now this HSM is under review. Let's do like sync. Okay. So one of the things got approved. I mean, I had also done like one more just in past, like an hour before. But it doesn't take more than like 2 or 3 minutes to get this HSM approved. So I don't think it should be a problem. But quickly going into this thing. Yes, Jobin.
Hi, Tejas. So can we use this in regular flow other than HSM? Just like an
Um,
how we use interactive message.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
like that.
So you can use it, but it has to be so in the regular flow. See, like there's a normal confusion that if you're using HSM, that means it has to be the first message. So it doesn't have to be that way. But a form can be used only in HSM templates, but the HSM template can be in any part of your flow.
Okay, understood.
So it doesn't have to mean that like this is your first message. I can also have it like like I can have this message. I can have like a couple of messages before this, and then I can send this message like, hello, welcome, whatever. I can have this thing, like I can have this, like I can have the NGO start. I mean, I can have the user start with this message and have like a couple of interactions before I introduce the form to them, whatever it is. So that is also possible. So it doesn't mean just because it's linked to an HSM doesn't mean it has to be the first message of the flow.
Understood. So I was thinking, I mean, I was imagining that this could have been part of any regular flow, as in, just like we use interactive message. Okay, that
Yeah, yeah.
confusion got solved.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, because Meta is like they want to control this bit, so like they are linking it to HSM templates. But HSM templates again, so just because it's HSM templates in its marketing doesn't mean that it will be charged always. If it's a user initiated conversation, for example, if it's part of your message somewhere in middle, like part of your flow somewhere in the middle, and the user is starting that flow, That means there's like, like whatever welcome here is about gram vikas. Okay, you want to enter a head, click okay. I mean, they initiated by sending the keyword, and then they reach to the form, and the form is a part of obviously HSM template. It doesn't mean that you'll be charged for the HSM template. It will still be under service conversation pricing. You get
Okay,
charged for
okay.
HSM template only for initiating, like by for broadcasting the messages.
Understood, understood.
So the
That
pricing of,
okay.
yeah, so this doesn't affect the pricing of it because of the HSM templates.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so just to show you, like, but it won't work here in preview. In preview, for now, it'll just come like this. So in order to test it, we'll have to do it on actual WhatsApp only. And actual WhatsApp, I am not able to use for now because it won't, and it does, this doesn't work on WhatsApp web. Just to kind of like give you an example. So what I will do is I can share you a link to this thing, and you all can try it, and you will see the responses from this thing. So again, like, so how to use it is, once it's part of the HSM this thing, you'll start getting this, like it can send, and it will start coming on WhatsApp. Now, because we want to capture the responses to this, we want to capture all the responses. We'll also add a wait for response node, and we'll save it as form. Like, and you can save it as anything. It doesn't matter. For now, just save the result as form. And here you can use these. Here you can use these session variables that, sorry, the form variables that we had used. So we can see, like, okay, there are these three things that we had asked. So there's results.form, and then if I want to go to one of the screens, like if I want to specifically display a result from the input, then I will go to that form, go to the form variable, and I'll print that form. I'll write the form variable thing over here. Okay, so right now I've used, I think this form, I think I have also confused myself. But let's say, like, um, I'll just save this thing. Yeah, I'll just, at results dot form dot screen one, choose anyone. And these are like the symptoms. So I'll just, what I can do is, let's try this out, and we'll stop the flow just over here for a minute, and then you all can try it out. And we'll also be running out of time, so maybe we'll have to extend it for like, by like 10 minutes. I hope if you're all okay with that, I can quickly then run through this thing, and rest of it can be, like, I think we can also, uh, yeah, like the rest of it also I can explain, but maybe we'll just take the next 5 minutes to try this out. So I'm sending this keyword. Okay, I don't know why I didn't go as link, but you'll have to open it on your WhatsApp. So this is the phone number 816570. This phone number, and you can type this random what's this is the keyword.
Could this be sent in the group directly?
Yeah, this can be sent in the group. I can send it on the group, our Glyphic community group, right?
Huh.
Yeah, I think that would be better idea. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So for you all to try this out. Okay, my network is bad. What's happening? Then okay, I think it must have reached now.
Yeah, I got it, got it. I mean,
Okay, so ideally, what we have, the flow that we have right now, you should get the form, and you should,
What's the keyword? Because I got a random WhatsApp as the
yeah,
keyword. So that's it?
that's that's the
yeah, I
key.
think that's the keyword. Yeah, that's the keyword.
Yeah, and you can click on send. Yeah. Yes, Aditya.
So, like when we use an interactive message, then in the wait for response node, we can actually branch out the flow based on what the decision was made. So
Correct.
here, can we use the variables to define the same thing within the wait
Correct.
for response node?
No, so here it'll have to be done slightly differently, because
Okay.
all the responses to the form are getting captured under one variable like this form. And in order to
Okay.
now, like, so, and I've showed you, right? Like, so each variable has its
Yes.
own thing. So now if I,
Right.
so like, just to give you an example, now if I wanted to, now I'll explain that bit. But we can just confirm that, okay, when we are getting this form, we are able to fill it, and we get shown the response, and we get shown like, I mean, we are just using for demonstration purpose, we are just using this one, we are just showing printing out one response back just to show how to get into specific responses. But I'll show you how we can branch out the responses as well.
So just one more thing. I when we are selecting whatever response we are putting in,
Hmm.
the symptoms are coming in like as a response to my message. The
Yeah.
symptoms are coming in. Uh, so whatever form, like if for example there were two parts to this form, if I design a form which has six parts, for example, so all six parts responses will come in like this.
Yeah, yeah. So again, so the all the passive responses will get captured in this result variable, and we can go into each of the result by looking at the form variables.
No, no, I'm
So
just saying that can I share something that I got in my
yeah,
personal chat in the group?
yeah, yeah. As in, sorry, yeah. So essentially, if you're saying like all
I
the
got the
variables.
symptoms. I have shared in the WhatsApp chat. It has not gone yet for some reason.
Okay, no worries.
I'm not sure, some for whatever reason the screen, okay, it went.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm
So yeah,
getting response symptoms like this. So
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
I have selected, it will come like this. Is there a way in which, is it mandated that it will come like this?
No, again, this is just an example flow that I created to show
Mm-hmm.
that we can go into. So as you can see, right, like I have this message, and I'm just printing this back out. I'm just printing this one thing back out just to show how I can go into one of the things. I can go into any of these things. Again, like this, you may want to show it to the users, you may not want to. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to branch out the flows, right? So there's a thing where there is like do you need a callback? Now, based on that callback value, yes or no, you want to make some decision whether you want to, okay, our team member will call you back soon, or like no. If they say no, nothing, and if they want to call you back, then you write that information to Google Sheet. That's the kind of general workflow that most folks will have, right?
Yes.
Mm. Yeah.
So I can, so again, this was just for demo purposes, that okay, so in order to print it back, we had to do something like this. Now, for example, we can go into any of the things based on the form variable that we had, right? So like right now, we just printed back this one, choose any one. If I want to print back, like now, if I know that the callback answer is in this one, the last variable in the last screen. It has this callback yes or no value. So what I can do is, again, this is just to show, but what there is something called as save result for this flow. And we want to name that result. So let's say I want to say call back. I can create any new and this variable is just for this flow, and it will have the value of at results dot form dot screen one, choose any of the three, because this has that value yes or no, whatever the user has chosen. I'm writing this value into this new variable which I'm calling callback, and I can use this variable head at results.callback like this at anywhere point, right? So now I have this thing, I have saved this, I saved this variable, and now I can use split by like let's say I can use like split by result in the flow, and now it starts showing me the callback this thing, and now I can do, it has only the phase yes, has only the phrase no, and then I can make these decisions like, okay, so if it is a yes, give them this one, and this thing, if it's a no, then give this message. Now I have published this, Now you can again try this form again by sending the keyword, and you should, based on whatever value you have chosen, like whatever callback yes or no, you should get two separate messages. Can you all send the keyword again and try it out? Right. So now we are able to see that bit. So if someone has chosen callback yes, they are getting the other, they are getting our team will call you back soon. And if someone has chosen, let's say Nisha has chosen, or like, let's see, look at some other. Um, uh, Swarupa has chosen no in the callback, and she has got the other message. Thanks for sharing your feedback. Have a great week. So essentially that's how we can do. And then similarly, because then now we can like there are all these results of these things are getting captured as the variables are listed over here. And if you want to directly write, instead of doing all this thing, if you just want to write to the Google Sheet, we can do that also. For example, at the end of this thing, regardless of whatever they have said, we want to write all the results to a Google Sheet. So what we can do is we can write current date, we can write the name, we can write their ID, we can write their phone number, and from here we can keep writing. We can write all the like results dot form dot. We can just write all their responses like starting from the first page, right? And that will then write all the responses. So like I'll start from screen zero, select zero, um, and I can keep writing all of this. Yeah, so that's how we can also, like, there's another way of getting all the responses. Yes, I think there's someone hand goes up.
Yes. So my question was, you showed me how we can split the flow for one of the fields. Is it
Yeah.
possible to do for multiple?
Yeah, but you'll have to make, I mean, like whatever the decision is, like, so what you have to do is like you have to save each of those thing to another flow variable, and then you can use like a custom expression on whatever condition you want to add. So here there is like a split by result in the flow. I can also use split by custom expression, and then I can make like, okay, at results dot callback is yes, and at results dot something is no, only then something. So like this is something that we can help you out with, but then that is also possible. But
Okay.
also you can
Okay.
do like, okay, is if this is yes, and then if this is yes, and then based on this, if someone has said yes for this and no for that, and then you want to handle all of these cases separately, that is how you can go about doing it. So yeah, you can you
Understood.
can do any of these, like you can do split by multiple things
So
at a very.
within the save flow result, we can save multiple variables, is it? Or
Yeah, I
just
mean,
one?
at one time you can save one, but you can create multiple save flow results. So like save result for this flow, I can be like symptoms.
So one
Uh,
after the other, you're saying.
yeah, yeah. And here I can write
Okay.
results dot form dot yeah, whatever that thing was. So then it'll write for all the symptoms. And then if I want to split based on symptoms, then I can use that. Yeah. Cool. Okay. We are running out of time. I anticipated lesser question, but that's okay. We can, if you're all still, I know, like, I think we are still here, and I think we can continue for like 10 minutes more just because I can run through this entire thing. Um, Okay, I'll quickly go ahead. So now that we have understood this entire thing, so what we have done is we have created the form, we have published the form, we have sent the form, we have to use the responses to a form in Glific for individuals also, and we can write it to Google Sheets so that we can also see at the end of the day, at the end of the month, week, whatever, whoever all is filled, as long as we write all the values correctly, right? So till here we have covered. Now, the last bit is viewing all the responses to a form via BigQuery. So, so here we can the BigQuery thing is I can share you what will get added. Sorry, this is not the organization. Project Tech for Dev and Glific. So I can show you an overview of what will happen in your BigQuery when this thing gets enabled. So what happens is you all can see my BigQuery screen, right?
Yeah, Tejas,
Yes.
it's visible.
Okay, okay, cool. So what happens is, so this enabling this feature will add two new tables. One is WhatsApp forms. So this WhatsApp forms is a listing of all the like all the forms only. So it's just like what is the name of the form, what is the description, and I think like what is that category, whatever. So this is just like a listing of all your forms and what is the status. Like what is it published, is it draft, whatever, whatever. And this is Metaflow ID. I think every time you create like you create a draft, it creates a new flow ID, and once it's published it changes the like so this published, that's why I was mentioning this is like a meta level thing. So this is like the basic like the WhatsApp forms listing thing, and then there's a forms responses. Form response, this is from a staging server, so there's no other phone numbers or PII that is exposed, so I can quickly show you the preview also. So this preview then, so this what happens is each form has its different unique fields, right? No form is like, most likely each form is going to be a different type of form that you have created. Not likely going to be the common thing. So the responses has something called as raw JSON in the preview. So each entry is each row in this form responses is like an entry made by a user to a specific form. So you can see the form name which the entry is made for, form ID, who is that user who has made that entry, and when this entry was made, and the main major thing is this the response thing. So this response, raw response, this JSON, it has all the answers selected by that user to that particular form. So which is again the same thing, which is the like which will have this like the ID name and the thing that they have chosen. So that's what
Tejas,
happened.
there is a
Yeah.
question by Arnav on the chat box. Can the WhatsApp form store data later when there is no data and save later, since there are few places where network there are network issues?
WhatsApp form store data later when there's no data, save later. I mean, I'm not sure about this. We'll have to try this out. But what happens is when the person fills the form, um, I mean, I'm sure it's possible that if the network is not there, once they go to the network area, their responses will. So all of these responses are returned as webhook events to us, like through Meta to Glyphic via Gupshup. So it's likely that if like how that thing happens, right? Like when you're not in network, like the tick doesn't happen, like the single tick also doesn't happen. As soon as you are in the network area, the single tick happens. Or like and when the other person is not in the area, like then double tick doesn't happen. So as long as like, but also sometimes it happens that if you're not in network for a long time and you try sending and the network is not there altogether, then it starts having that red dot that like not able to try, so they have to retry it themselves. So it may be like similar to that entire experience. So that's my best guess right now. I
All
hope.
right. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. So this is how it happens, and we'll have to figure like so the one step you will have to take is, in order if you want to create like more deeper visualizations or this thing, like either you use Google Sheets or you can use like, or you write a query to get like a specific form into a different view, and then from there you can create like visualizations, because each form, the response, like each form will have common, like this raw response JSON will be common for a different, like same form, but across this table this response will vary because you may have different forms, like there's FC test one, and then there is like this other pregnancy check Hindi, which is there, and then there are multiple forms in this table, but for each pregnancy check form name, the raw response will, the JSON will be the same. So So we'll have to figure out like when we, you'll have to figure out a way to deal with this thing. Okay, now to some nuances of this entire situation. Before we go ahead, okay, there's like I think I can take like next 5 minutes, and then if there may be other questions, then I can take those questions as well. But like the main nuances are like this entire like as we were creating it, we saw the names, like the screen name is something that gets picked up from there, so you may have to edit the form JSON to change the screen name. Again, screen name is not visible to the end user, so it doesn't really matter for now if you can use the same thing. Similarly, for field, like these variables, the field variables that are coming up over here in the once you save the form, the field variable starts coming up, right? The sorry, form variables. The form variables, again, you can rename it if you change the flow JSON. Like there is some way to change this flow JSON, and you can rename this thing. But again, these are not something that are seen by end user. These are for internal purposes. So in my opinion, you can, like, if it helps, you can keep it the same. These are again some nuances, and the most important nuances, there are option IDs also. So what happens is, you must have seen, like, I mean, I can show you right now. When we see this pregnancy check thing, right? Each of the options also is getting saved as it, like, it's not, we are not getting back the exact text itself. So the text was yes and no only, right? If you remember. But what we are getting is this one underscore no, one underscore no, zero underscore yes. And just because yes was first, one no was second, so it is coming as, it is indexing these options also, and then returning that. So it's returning it's returning the IDs. Just to show you this thing. Um, um, let me paste this, let me copy this JSON. Yes, Abhinit? Sorry. Go ahead, Abhinit.
You're not
I'm not able.
audible, Abhinit.
Let me show you another form. Actually, I changed it in this one. Um, yeah. Abhinit, maybe you can use the chat box and Tanu can take it up. But just to give you, like, I mean, I'll close this point of option IDs as well. So in there are like option IDs also. So this option IDs are again nothing but like from our flow JSON, as you can see, like the responses are coming as zero, and this will create like a nightmare for data cleaning later. So so what we can do is, like, so if you observe over if you observe in this flow JSON, you can see like for each of the title, like there's like a select anyone, there's yes, and then there's a ID called zero underscore yes. So if you edited this thing also to make it like, like just yes. So now like, so there's a way for you to change this and clean it up in the flow, in the option in the flow JSON itself. Right now, again, Glyphic, we can bring this capability in the next iteration, like which we are hoping to release in the next month, within next month. But for now, this is the way if you'll have to kind of like do to make sure that your data doesn't, like it doesn't come as these zero underscore one. So there's a title, there's a name of this thing. There's a type checkbox. So as I mean, you can search for ID and you should get all the IDs, and then you can see, like, or if you search for the symptom, like the name that you have given to like the name that you have given to these each of these of your options. If you search for those things, and you should be able to get all of these IDs, and you can just clean up those IDs over here only, so that in the end, in your raw responses, and so all these underscore three underscore, all these indexified options don't come out. So that is one of the other nuances.
They just Abhineet has put
Hmm.
up that in the multi-select widget, the options don't actually have IDs, and I think that's something you've just covered, right?
Yeah, I mean that because I had cleaned this up, and I mean I had used another form with you, so that's why the IDs didn't come up, because I had cleaned that up. Like, just to give you just to show you, I had used this form with you all, like this one, right? So I'll copy this JSON. I had used this form with you all. I'll copy this JSON. I'll bring it over here. So if you see, before the, like, just for the sake of this webinar, I had cleaned it up because I was trying it out. So that's why in the thing it didn't come, because here I had cleaned it up. So you can see the IDs are cleaned. I mean, I had removed all those things. That's why it didn't come. So it makes sense. So the cleaning of it just actually works like that. See, yeah. So this is the form you would have gotten, right? You got this one. Cool, Abhinit? Okay, cool. So now quickly going to the next bit of it, like, and we can wrap it in the next 10 minutes. Then I can take up questions. Now there are two things. Now, how do we use multilingual HSMs, and what happens in multilingual, like multilingual forms? The same problem, like how we have interactive messages, there are multilingual interactive messages, and then but at the end of the day you want to capture the result, like your data, in English only, no matter if they're like three, like there are three different languages people are answering in. At the end of the day, you want the data in English so that you are able to do those analysis and all that stuff. So that is one, that is like, so there are two problems over here. One is to serve uh, each end user based on their language preference. The text for them should be based on their language preference. So that is problem number one. Problem number two is, no matter what language you write the form in, the responses should be captured in English, right? So for these two problems, um, I'll start with the second problem first. That's where these IDs are playing important role. So for example, over here, just to give you an example, if I had if I had a Hindi text, for example, just to give you an example, uh, like, again, don't, this is not the way it would be done, but I'm just giving you an example, right? Like, now here the option became Hindi because the title I made it to Hindi, but ID is still severe headache. So what is getting stored is this severe headache, not this one. So this gives you a clue on how to solve the second problem. That if you keep the IDs, if you ensure that if you have multilingual forms, if you have forms in three different languages, you have created this, like, you have created this common, like a uniform UI, which has like these three these UIs in three different languages. Or, like, let's say, suppose you had only one language, but you wanted to capture the responses in English only. So you make the title, but you change the ID to represent the actual thing that you are capturing. So that's one thing that you can keep in mind. Like, so I'll pause here if you have any questions. It may get confusing, so I'll just pause for a minute. You can let me know if there's any questions.
Basically, multilingual will need multiple forms where you
Correct.
change the type. Okay.
Correct. So basically, since each form is linked to, so now we can talk about the first problem statement, which is like serving form based on users' language preference, right? And you know how it is for creating this in HSM messages also. If you want to, like, so you can have so you can create the first in English, or you can create you can select the language preference that you want to create it in, and you can create the HSM in that message, and you'll have to have a separate form. You have to create that form in that separate language, and make sure the IDs are in English. And then yeah, basically it's like, how we use multilingual HSMs. It's in the similar way. I'll pause. I think I may have confused, but Maybe I'll pause. Maybe if someone has questions, I can clarify through that. Or maybe I can just try again in like 10 seconds. But
Tejas,
Mhm.
we will get a document of it, right? I mean, we can also read through it and understand about whatever you're explaining right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Because at the moment it is getting a bit confusing.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So I mean, yeah, happy to help you all, but I mean, like, so both of these problems are solvable for you all to just know this, and we can guide you on how to do this. It is possible to serve forms in multiple languages based on users' preference, and it is possible to capture all the responses in English. It just requires some amount of like effort in setting it up right, and we can help you all with that, and I can share the documentation for that. And yeah, there's also like some chat GPT prompt that we can do to translate the entire form, like the form JSON, so that you don't have to like do this again and again. Like you don't have to write the content again and again or create new JSONs once you have it in English. This prompt actually worked, and we can share this prompt with you all. Um, but yeah, we can share more documentation on it later. I think, yeah, just like last 1 minute, like we covered about the cost, right? Like, just because it's a marketing template doesn't mean it is going to cost as much as marketing template. As long as you can get your users to initiate the conversation, ask them to send the keyword, click on the link, or click on the link and come to the chatbot and then send the keyword, whatever it is. As long as it's a service message, as long as you are not the one who's sending the broadcast, it is going to be charged as service message, and service messages are free. They just have their nominal gupshup charge of like per message cost. But broadcasted flows will be cost as per the template category. So if you decide to broadcast a flow, and the flow, like the form is the first part of that flow, and you decide to broadcast it, based on whatever category it is it utility or marketing, it will cost according to that. And yeah, I mean, and like I've explained what is coming next. So yeah, that's mostly it. I know we extended a lot, but also we had good questions and interaction. So happy. I can stay for like 3-4 more minutes. I can take up questions, and if not, we have taken. And if you all can let us know if you want us to enable it for your own orgs, and feel free to reach out over Discord. Some of it can get confusing, but we are happy to help you out and share the documentation. And if documentation is not available, we can create more documentation around it.
Just a question, like with respect to the
Mhm.
cost,
Yeah.
for enabling, there is no cost. We can try
No,
it
no,
out
no.
among ourselves.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
only like, for example, if I have people who will be using it, if it is they're using the keyword and doing it, there is no additional cost. It is
Correct,
going
correct.
to be in the same cost. Okay. Yeah.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Only so again, it's think of it just like how we use broadcasting. Only if
Mm-hmm.
you broadcast it, whatever cost of broadcasting, that will be the cost. There's no additional form cost for using forms from Meta.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Take it. Yeah. This is something I want clarity. Thank
Okay, okay, cool. I think maybe Tanu, we can quickly start the feedback form, and then so we can close this session. But
Yeah.
yeah, meanwhile, open for feedback. I mean, open for questions if there's any. Else, we can
Um,
share the feedback form, and y'all can please share it. But yeah, someone had a question.
Yes, they just want to check the last bit you covered in terms of form building wala part. So
Uh,
there, for example, if the form I've created in English and the same need to be created in multiple languages,
yeah,
so can I use the same JSON link and just paste it and just change the question
correct,
and keep the ID same? So that can be
correct,
done and it will create a like separate again like same form in different language,
correct, correct.
so that is
So,
doable. Yeah.
correct. So in order to create a new form, no, no, for example, I had to do this form in a
Hmm.
separate, in the similar. So let's try this out immediately. So like I have this now. Essentially, ideally, what I might want to do is like I have this entire
Hmm.
thing. Ideally, I
Hmm.
will maybe like I'll create another from scratch. Or I have the, like, since I've already used one time, I have used that form JSON. So I will, yeah, so if I have this, if let's say for example, if I want to use, like, if this is the form that I have to create again, I can just like
Hmm.
I'll have to translate this each of the thing in Hindi,
Hmm.
and I'll have it in Hindi, and then I copy the flow JSON and I create it in the thing so that the text are in Hindi. But since you have
Hmm.
already in English, what you can also do is you can,
Hmm.
like, with this prompt, I think we have
Hmm.
tried it a couple of times, it should work. So I have this one, I pasted, and then I have taken my previous flow JSON, which is this
Yeah.
one, and I have pasted it over here. And okay, I think this is taken that as a text. Let's see what happens. And okay, so I'm ready with to translate the WhatsApp flow JSON. Okay, let's say I can do it in Hindi. Let's see what happens. Hmm? Okay, okay. So I've taken this one, and let's go to the preview part of it. And okay, I run this thing. So now it's in Hindi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the IDs will be same, right? Like as it was in the English form we have.
Yeah, so again, so that's about the prompting, right? Like, so I've in the prompt
Hmm.
I've mentioned keep IDs, name, type, version, data,
Cool.
everything
Huh.
in touch. But yeah, just
Yes.
yeah, like, I think so this might involve just like checking it a little bit. Again, so here I provided the cleaned IDs over here, so that's why it didn't do anything. So make sure, like, I mean, like, so yeah, just that's like some, so it's a bit of nuance thing. Once you, if you use it once or twice, I think you all get also
Hmm.
used to it.
Yes.
This hack is given to me actually by Surbi from Saturday Art Class. We enabled it for them like like 3 4 weeks back only, 3 weeks back only, and they created this, and then they kind of like, so I didn't know about this, but actually
Yeah.
this is suggested by them. So I'm sure
Yeah.
as more people will use it, you all can also share some hacks, whatever you came up with. But
Got
yeah,
it.
so now this will have to be a separate form. If you want to use the same
Hmm.
form in Hindi and English, then this will have to
Hmm.
be like, so now we create a separate form for this,
Hmm.
like pregnancy. Sorry, let's just call it like check Hindi, just for sake of this thing. I'm moving fast and not caring about any of this.
Yeah.
And if I want to make sure that it's given to all in
Hmm. Hmm.
all, like, the same form that I'm using. So
Hmm.
since I already had that template in English, what I'll do is I want to translate an existing HSM, right? And the existing HSM was monthly. This one had created, or like you make sure the element name is same, and you give a like a title, which is like Hindi, and here you can have the Hindi message,
Hmm.
whatever, and then you link that. For now, I'm just like ignoring everything. Here you link the WhatsApp form, which you have the Hindi one. I think it's just it'll take a minute to load and come back over here. Yeah, so translate existing. I select the same element name as my other the HSM which I have linked the other, like, English form to. I make the same name. Okay, I'll ignore all of this for now. But the idea is here. Then you again select the same. You select the Hindi form over here.
Yes, the Hindi one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So and then yeah. So that's how that then it will then, so then what happens is, like, you have the same, then when you're using when you're using this element name in the HSM message, like here
Hmm.
in the HSM message, we actually use this element name only. uh,
Hmm.
so here then, based on, like, when it's sent to the entire collection, the collection person will get based on their language preference. So their language preference, if it's English, they'll get the one which is English. If they're
Yeah.
one which is Hindi, they will get the one which is in Hindi, as long as the
Hmm.
preference is updated in the, like, if their preference is updated.
Understood. And
It,
if we are using those IDs to fetch the data, then we'll get across all the languages
yeah,
confirmation.
yeah. I mean, so yeah, so just so in that case, just like like the making the what we'll have to make sure is like both the forms have the same like so here Hindi and this one and these two things, right? So like here the form variables are also the same, right?
Hmm.
Form variables also, I mean, so yeah, like just taking care of that bit is something.
Yes.
I mean, so just like making sure these small nuances are there,
Hmm.
or you can fetch the yeah, like so that's something we'll have to. So again, it's just like
Yes.
possible, but like matching these tiny details, and then it should work.
Hmm. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, glad you asked this so that we also spoke about the form like multilingual bit fairly in detail. Cool. Yeah, happy to take on more questions. Thank you all for staying over time and asking questions. It helps us to get clarity. And yeah, for those for whoever it's not enabled, we can please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to enable it. We are going to introduce the next version of this within the next 1 or 2 months, 1 month, hopefully. So some of it could like some of the complexity we're dealing with may not be the same complex in the next 1 month. Yes, Abhinit, yeah, please go ahead.
Hey, now I really hope I'm audible, am I?
Yeah, you're
Okay,
audible.
great. Thank you. Sorry about the previous time. Well,
No problem.
I'm really curious about implementing the endpoint version of it. I mean, the variables, right? I mean, because this gives
Okay.
a very nice structure. I mean,
Yeah.
but the problem is that I can't inject variables, and so does not really help me a lot because what I'm sending is also variable. So from a quizzing point, let's just call it a quizzing standpoint. I think what the questions I'm sending, the feedback I'm sending, that also keeps varying, the
Mm.
images I send and all that. But I would love the structure that this gives me,
Hmm.
right? I would also love the fact that there's more than just three buttons, right? Now, even if I do implement buttons or whatever it is, I actually have on the same screen, I actually have four different choose one kind of a thing, which makes it for a crisper way for a student to actually respond. So in a quizzing scenario, this is a beautiful thing to implement. But if it's not an endpoint where I can actually, I mean, I would love to by myself. I would also be able to actually just generate the JSON, but it
Yeah.
does not take it, right? Even if there's a JSON format, even if I can do create it myself, it does not take it dynamically on the at runtime. It does not just accept my JSON. So that's the question. What do we do about it?
Yeah. So how about you do this, Abhinit? Like maybe just put like a half pager on what like maybe like put up like a scenario,
Uh-huh.
and we can help you out because like even without like even without this playground and Glyphic, because you have WhatsApp Business API, right? And you have a Meta Facebook for Business, that Facebook Business Manager entire thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's possible for you to create it using that also. And this
Hmm.
endpoint thing is like it's just like right now it's you can create it on that thing. But if you're able to, I mean, if I'm able to like get some articulation of what is it that you want to do, then maybe we can explore together, and you can, like I can help you out to implement it on your Meta Business Manager, and it'll be the same thing. You create it, create an HSM from there, and you can sync that HSM on Glyphic, and you can use it via Glyphic. Sending it through the contacts, that can be done, but creating it and like all those things can happen on Business Manager also. So on for the endpoints. So yeah, if you can put together a brief use case, I think we can help you out. Like,
I mean, I'll do that. I mean, while I can do that, the
mm,
implementing your flow endpoint page on Facebook, Meta's own page, that's empty. I'm not really sure if you can see it. That it's not a 404, but it's an empty page.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why. I mean, or maybe just like because still, I mean, I have explored it. I mean, there are also like YouTube videos that I've explored. So
Oh,
I
great.
can always
Okay.
share you. I mean, we can get the resource. That's not a problem.
One last question I think should be easier. When
Mm,
I'm broadcasting, if I broadcast my, let's say, daily practice as a utility for now, but then if I get this particular flow
mm,
as a marketing HSM,
mm.
if I, because of the pricing, per
Yeah,
message pricing, it would still be charged as a marketing, right?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, even if I do it at somewhere in at the middle of the flow, even if I do send it, it'll still be charged as a marketing.
No, no. If it's in the middle of the flow,
Uh-huh.
As in, I mean, if you're broadcasting the first message of the broadcast, that's what is important. But if they respond to your message
Didn't
and
that change though? I mean, that's why I'm curious because there's a per message pricing that happened since July of this year. If I do send to marketing, both will be charged within the same. There's no concept of conversations anymore, right?
correct, but it's like you're not you can send to marketing, but your both of them can't be business initiated. But if the HSM is as a response to a keyword, then it's a service conversation, right?
But no, but it won't be a keyword, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. So let's assume that I initiate some conversation by a student, uh,
Yeah,
and it's a utility message where I ask them to continue. There's a CTA. I just say continue.
correct.
As soon as they hit continue,
Yeah.
uh, the very next message, if it's a
Is the
marketing, I'll still be charged for marketing, no?
No,
It
no,
won't
no.
be because it's not keyword initiated.
No, because no, I'll tell you why it's not. Because like the per message pricing is earlier, if you sent a marketing message, and if someone sent a and if you initiated one more marketing message within the open window, then it was not costing. And basically it's like if you initiate, like if it's like a business initiated message,
Yeah.
then it's getting charged. But here, because it's like a in a flow, in a response to you initiated the first message, but it's like a conversation. Within the conversation is the marketing template. So I
So
don't think it should be
so
charged.
you're saying that it's a service window is open as soon as they respond with a continue, and if I send any number of marketing messages later on, none of those should be charged.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think my understanding of the per pricing, because the way I read it initially, and I think a couple of times when I was charged, it did seem like it would charge. But okay, that's something that's moot for now because I still can't use this anyway. I'll get back to you with a little write up of what I want to do. I would actually want to inject an image and a particular set of text. That's about it. So I would like to see. I'll actually send you a JSON and a bunch of some write up, and let's figure out if we can.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe like having an initial thing like, okay, like which grade are you in, or module you want to start off with, like having a seeded list of that, and if someone selects that, and then it starts going into the thing. But also one thing to note is like once someone has filled a form, they can't fill the same form again. So they have to again initiate the same thing. I mean, if I'm complicating, I'll stop.
No, I think
Yeah.
that's not a problem. I mean, I can see. Let's say for any particular quiz, I have 25 questions. I can have 25 different forms, right? And
Yeah.
based on some kind of a variable, this thing I can say that well, if you only selected 5 questions, you only five will be sent and all that. What I
Hmm.
really love is the structure that it provides in a single user interface, right? I mean, in the user experience, it's just a single form which
Yeah.
currently from the entire flow module it does not look like a single form because it's an image first. You click, you look at the image, you get out of the image, you come back, you hit okay, I will go to the options list. I'll have to hit another in this thing. So the number of
Hmm.
interactions will greatly reduce if it's built via this forms,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
which is what I'm looking at currently. I mean, that's the best use case because a lot of user fatigue is because of the number of clicks, right?
Yeah.
Interactions,
Correct.
meaningless interactions, which don't really have a feedback. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Maybe we can take this later. There's a bunch of other folks. Maybe they're waiting for other questions as
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, Abhineet. Please, like, do share a write-up. We can take it forward from
well. I
there.
will. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, if anyone has any questions, we are still around. Else we can close it in the next 5 minutes, like next 1 minute, because we have 45 minutes. Wow, this has got to be a record. Thank you, Abhineet. Arnav, Rahul, Rohini, any questions?
No, thank you, Tejas, for taking this up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Hari Arnav. See you. Cool, Rahul. Thank you.
Rahul.
Thank you, Rahul. Th- Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Stop recording.